Last night, Donald Trump's home in Florida at Mar-a-Lago was raided by the FBI looking for some type of evidence, some type of records. They raided his house in Florida as he was in New York City, and they did this without any warning whatsoever. I want to report this because this is absolutely newsworthy. The other day I was talking about the Inflation Reduction Act that's being approved by the Democrats. And I'm not going to be political here. The reason they're doing this is for midterm elections. A lot of people believe that the Republicans are going to win some seats in the House of Senate and take back the House of Senate. In 2024, there will be an election for the presidential seat, the executive office. Currently, we have President Joe Biden. A lot of people feel that he's not doing a good job. I'm not trying to be judgmental here. This is a fact. If you look at polls, that people are less and less liking the job that Joe Biden is doing. So now you have a rift, three different rifts. Number one, Democratic Party, and then you have the Republican Party. The Republican Party, half of them like Trump, half of them don't like Trump. So you don't know which way this is gonna go. Trump is thinking about rerunning at 2024, and nobody knows what's gonna happen. So just like everything is a game in this country, attacking Donald Trump, sending FBI to a former sitting president is unprecedented in the history of the United States, and I believe this is the first time something like this ever happened. More so, with Donald Trump's connections and everything, he had no idea that they were coming. Now the search warrant is confidential, and I really do wish that I had it so we know what they were looking for. Let me read you this story, and you guys tell me what you think. I think this is absolutely bonkers. FBI searches Trump's Mar-a-lago home in Florida. FBI agents searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-lago home in Palm Beach, Florida on Monday, which people familiar with the matter said was part of an investigation into Mr. Trump's handling of classified information. The search was made public in a statement released by Mr. Trump, in which he said the FBI agents were at his home. And he quotes, "Nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States before," he said in a statement. "After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate. They even broke into my safe," wrote Mr. Trump, who has repeatedly suggested he will run for president again in 2024. The search began on Monday morning and lasted until the evening, guys, according to the person familiar with the matter. Legal historians said they couldn't remember a case in recent history in which the FBI searched the home of a former president. The search marked an escalation of the Justice Department's investigation into aspects of Mr. Trump's final days in office and is expected to ripple through the run-up to November's midterm elections. Guys, I didn't read this article, I promise you. And you see, I like to give you my thoughts before I read articles to see if I'm BS or not. The article is writing exactly what I just said. Expected to ripple through the run-up to November's midterm elections. Whether you believe this is a trick or not, or this is a strategy or not, this is most certainly done with some type of intent. And this intent to get Donald Trump is more so poised to bring the Democrats up. What's bad for Republicans is good for Democrats. What's bad for Democrats is good for Republicans, so on and so forth. Again, I'm trying to be right down the middle, guys, and bring you the news. Craziest part is, Mr. Trump was in New York City Monday evening, according to a person familiar with the matter. The White House didn't get any advance notice of the FBI's search. Can you imagine if you are a Secret Service agent? Seriously. And I don't know how it works, if they're posted with Trump or they posted with Trump and at all his residences with his families. Imagine, yo, you're raided by the FBI and all of a sudden like knock, knock, and secret agents is like, what's going on? And FBI just rolls up into you. It's pretty freaking crazy what's going on over here. The Justice Department has been looking into former president's handling of the official records as well as his actions around the January 6th attack on the US Capitol. The search is separate from the January 6th investigation, the people familiar with the probe said. The search of Mr. Trump's home comes as support for the president, particularly for the idea of him running again in 2024, have been slipping among some of his own party. That's the dissent that I was talking to you about, his own party. Some love him, some don't love him. Democrats hate him. And now the Republican Party is either going to have to get behind him or Dos Santos. Those are like the two people in the front lines, in my personal opinion, from my understanding. But the FBI's move quickly became a rallying cry for many Republicans on Monday. Trump might go down as a living martyr for the Republican Party. And I quote, "The abuse of power must stop, and the only way to do this is to elect Republicans in November," said Republican National Committee Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel. The FBI, whose agents conducted the search, is run by Director Christopher Wray, who was nominated by Mr. Trump in 2017 and confirmed with bipartisan support. The FBI in 2016 investigated then Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton over whether or not she mishandled classified information. So it's not just against Trump, it was also against Hillary Clinton. Trump is a Republican. He got the FBI to investigate Hillary Clinton. Biden is a Democrat who got the FBI to investigate Donald Trump, who's a Republican. It goes both ways. In January, the National Archives retrieved 15 boxes of material from Mr. Trump, raising questions about his compliance with federal law requiring official records to be turned over when a president leaves office. A person familiar with the records said they included a letter from President Barack Obama left for his successor and correspondence between Mr. Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. I don't know what's in there. Guys, it's very interesting, by the way. When a president leaves office, he leaves a letter for the next president. I want to know what Obama told Trump. And the only reason Trump ran and won is because Obama made fun of him at one of the dinners. I don't know if you guys saw the video where he like completely clowned Trump. And Trump was like, okay, I got you. Kind of being clowned now too. I definitely see him running in 2024. Can you imagine the letter that Trump said to Biden? He's probably like, no. I don't agree with anything that just happened here. This is all fraud. Fake news. You are not the president. I am the president. I'm still the president. I just don't choose to live in the White House. The White House is under reconstruction. I will go live in Mar-a-lago. I have a nice golf cart. You know? Trump is great, man. And I quote, "NARA has identified items marked as classified national security information within the boxes," the U.S. Archives wrote in a letter to representatives. Because NARA identified classified information in the boxes, NARA staff has been in communication with the Department of Justice. The National Archives also said that some of Trump's presidential records it had received had been torn up. As of January 6th, investigation moves in recent weeks by federal prosecutors have signaled they are examining Mr. Trump's own actions, not just the attack on the Capitol by his supporters. Mr. Trump has denied wrongdoing regarding the riot. The Justice Department has added prosecutors and resources to its investigations. As the result, congressional hearings have shed new light on Mr. Trump's role in attempts by his allies to alter the election outcome. Eric Trump, the former president's son, said Monday evening on Fox News that he was the person who informed his father of the search. Mr. Trump's son said there were more than 30 FBI agents on his property and that no notice was given. He said the agents searched an office, closet, and safe. And I quote, "He didn't even have anything in the safe." Guys, for anybody wondering why I'm covering something like this, I'm going to tell it to you guys again and again. This is a finance channel. A lot of current events and news around the world affects finance. Nothing affects your pockets more so than the top brass of the country investigating the former top brass of the country, because all of this is leading into the November primaries, the midterm elections, which is then going to lead into 2024 elections. and whether you choose to believe it or not, who's running the country does affect you in some way, shape, and form. Whether it doesn't directly affect you, because a lot of people are like, hey, the laws that the presidents make, it doesn't actually affect me. They do. It's called a trickle-down effect. Not directly, but a trickle-down effect. The stock market and the crypto market views who's in power, and that's what shapes, moves, and molds the markets around you, whether it's crypto, stocks, real estate, precious metal, foreign transactions, so on and so forth, so on, etc., etc., etc. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to give me the likes, shares, and subscribe. These publications that I pay for, they're not cheap, but I'm happily willing to do this to give you guys the freshest, baddest, newest news. Please don't forget to show me some love. The Berg is out.